What is up, guys? It is the Bluebloods here, coming back at y'all with another episode here, man. And this is really going to start off. I think I'm going to do a series on this. This is going to be the Blue Bloods transfer portal spotlight. And this one was so requested. I had so many people message me asking me when I was going to do an episode on this kid, and so I couldn't pick anybody else to start kick this off. I have reached out to Cameron Ward, trying to see if he can come on after he commits somewhere. So I'm in the process of that. I know a lot of you guys asked me to get him on the show for an interview. I am working on it. But if you want to help my chances, man, hashtag hashtag Cameron Ward on the Blue Bloods, man. We need him on here ASAP. I know a lot of you guys want him on here, but listen, he's been one of the top QBs in the FCS for in the spring and this fall. He announced his intention to transfer on December 9th, and that was not too far removed from Incarnate Word's 7-point loss to Sam Houston State in the second round of the FCS playoffs. And he announced this on Twitter. And right now, he currently ranks as the fourth best quarterback in the portal, third highest uncommitted quarterback behind only Dylan Gabriel transferring out of UCF and Spencer Rattler, former five-star, transferring out of Oklahoma. And of course, the top-rated quarterback in the portal right now, Quinn Ewers, as he's transferred from Ohio State, committed to Texas this weekend, so he is no longer in the portal anymore. Now, Ward tweeted out a long statement on his Twitter, and part of it said, quote, "This season has been unbelievable, from the highest FCS ranking in program history to the most wins in program history, conference champions, winning the first playoff game, and much more. To be a part of something so great has been such a blessing." And as Ward enters the transfer portal, he has 3 seasons of eligibility remaining, which means he's not just a 1-year rental. He can come be a game changing player for whatever program decides to take his talent. Now, you might be asking, why would a quarterback of this stature decide to enter the portal after such a successful season? Well, Ward decided to enter after head coach Eric Morris accepted the Washington State offensive coordinator job under new head coach Jake Dickert, who served as the interim head coach after head coach Nick Rolovich up at Washington State and a bunch of other staff members were let go by the university due to not being vaccinated, and state employees in the state of Washington cannot be unvaccinated. You have to be vaccinated to be employed by the state. So therefore, Rolovich was out. Dickert did an amazing job of getting Washington State in the Pac-12 title race down the stretch of the season. They ultimately decided to keep him the head coach of the future for the Cougars, and especially after a record-setting win against Washington in the Apple Cup to end the season. Now they go into bowl weekend, and we'll see what happens there. But due to the uncertainty of Incarnate Word's future, Ward decided to explore his options in the portal. Now, 247 Sports spoke to Calvin Ward, his father, and he said, quote, "It was a shock to us. It was a shock. One of the reasons he entered was the spring semester. Starting 5 weeks from now, we wanted to see what options might be out there. He's in a unique situation where the only coach who offered him is now gone. Not knowing what to expect and not knowing who UIW's head coach is going to be. That is why he's exploring his options right now." Now, the interesting thing about Ward's interview with 247, his father's interview, was also said, quote, "I'm not saying he's gone from Incarnate Word. We want to see what all the options are out there, and UIW will make a coaching decision sometime soon so we can see what the new scheme of the new offense is going to be as well." Cameron has been on both sides. He's well aware of how important it is to him to be how important it is for him to match his skill set with his coach's scheme. So it looks like Cameron Ward could be leaving the possibility of returning to Incarnate Word, depending on their coaching hire, how it goes. But with some of the offers that are coming his way, that seems less and less likely as we move closer to a decision for Cameron Ward. Now, this guy has been outstanding. And so the next question might be, for people who don't watch a lot of FCS football, would be, what is Cameron Ward going to bring to the program he chooses to attend next season? I know a lot of P5 fans on my channel, or maybe not on my channel, but P5 fans who might skip across this video might not watch a lot of FCS football. And I know there's this stigma around FCS teams, athletes, competition, but I'm here to tell you that not to fall for that narrative. Any channel that pushes that negativity toward the FCS level, any scout, any channel person, zero idea what they're talking about, and I will stand on that. And you can invite them to the channel and we can debate it. There are guys at the FCS level who can play real ballers, and Cameron Ward is the perfect example because there's so many different reasons that players wind up at the different schools and different levels they play at. But Ward's situation of what happened to him in high school is the perfect example of opportunities not being presented, and also on top of that, situational factors outside of Ward's control that really caused the entire country to overlook one of the most talented quarterbacks in the country. Now, going back to high school, Ward was not highly recruited out of West Columbia, Texas, due to him being a quarterback in a wing T offense. So he did not throw the ball at all. So there were a lot of concerns about his ability to run a college style offense at the next level. And according to 247 Sports, the only two schools that officially offered Ward was Incarnate Word and Texas Southern. So according to his father in the interview as well, he said, quote, there was no film. They knew he could throw, but there wasn't any actual proof because of the wing T offense he was in. Nobody was willing to take a real chance except for Incarnate Word. So there were a lot of questions, and that shows that this kid had a lot of talent going back to high school. He just a lot of these high school offenses, and I've had conversations off camera with this, and I really want to do an in-depth breakdown of this eventually on the channel. But a lot of these high school coaches and high school offenses really don't prepare quarterbacks at the highest level to come into college and really compete and really put a lot of scouts' worries to rest, I would say, because in high school you can just get away with putting your best athletes in random positions and getting them the ball in space and winning a lot of games, but ultimately it hurts the player moving forward. But when you look at Ward, what he's going to bring to a program, the questions about him cease to exist anymore. He's put up back-to-back seasons of dominant performances for this team. Was recently just named the 2021 Southland Conference Player of the Conference Offensive Player of the Year, following up his 2021 spring season Jerry Rice Award award win, which is given to the best FCS freshman in the country. Now, his freshman year, only 6 games due to COVID. The FCS had an entire shakedown of the schedule, but 6 games had over 2,200 passing yards, 24 passing touchdowns, and only 4 INTs. And in those 6 games, averaged over 370 yards passing as a true freshman coming into Incarnate Word. This year, over 4,600 passing yards, 47 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing, led the FCS in passing touchdowns, top 3 in passing yards, top 10 in efficiency, and top 10 in completion percentage with about 65% of his passes completed. Cameron Ward did it at the highest level in the FCS. I mean, I've repeatedly said on this channel, right there with Eric Berry and Cole Kelly, I thought Cameron Ward was right there. You also got Cole Johnson at James Madison, but Cameron Ward was a surefire top 5, if not top 3 quarterback in the FCS this year. And as a freshman, by far the most impressive freshman quarterback in the spring season. Now, this stat makes no sense. And just to put in perspective, because I know people are going to say, oh, he played at this school. And I don't care what school you play at. This is impressive. Ward set the Incarnate Word career passing touchdown record in only 13 games. 13 games, he set the career passing touchdown record and now has set the record to 71 touchdowns in only 19 games through the air. And he's also the record holder with career passing yards with almost 7,000 yards in only 19 games. And he's averaging over 360 yards per game in his Incarnate Word career. That's what you're getting. If you're a team that needs a quarterback that has done it at the highest level, Cameron Ward's your guy. You need a guy with some experience. Well, he's been to the playoffs. He's faced those top teams in the FCS playoffs. He's been in shootouts against Southeastern. He's been in defensive struggles in some of those games. He's went and they beat a FBS team this year. Incarnate Word and Cameron Ward has done it at the highest level. And that's why this title of this video is Cameron Ward the best QB transfer? Now, Quinn Ewers committed to Texas. We haven't seen him on the field yet in college. We'll see. Supposed to be a generational prospect. But I think you can make an argument that Cameron Ward right now is better than Dylan Gabriel and Spencer Rattler in the portal right now. And I think any team looking for a quarterback that is experienced, has an arm, is athletic, and is a winner, Cameron Ward is your guy. I also pulled a little bit of his film up here. And so let me get up here. And so this is just some of the athleticism that Cameron Ward can show. So this is against Nichols this season, and just watch Cameron Ward escape the pocket. So he's going to play action, and the defensive end is going to be right there. And look at the athleticism. He gets out of the way, keeps his eyes downfield, set his feet, lets it fly, and look at the ball placement right on the numbers. Right on the numbers, man. I mean, it was so impressive, this throw right here. And the fact that he's not really a scrambling quarterback, he's a downfield passer. He is a pocket quarterback. He's not going to run for Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton type numbers. He's going to throw the football down the field, but he's athletic enough, as you see right there, to get out of the way of pressure, keep his eyes downfield out of the pocket, set his feet quickly, and get rid of the football when he's under pressure. Now, this was against the defending national champions in Sam Houston State, where they came up like 4 or 5 yards short of taking this game to overtime. But you're going to see Cameron Ward here make another huge throw downfield, and look at the release on that and the ball placement. Leads his receiver perfectly, and it's a touchdown there, and it gives Incarnate Word right back into that game late in the fourth quarter. But his deep ball is beautiful. This is another clip from Sam Houston State where he throws a beautiful deep ball again. Look at that right there. And his recognition too. The way that play was set up, it was going to be a fake screen. And as soon as he saw that guy open, he got rid of the football at the perfect time before that DB had time to recover. And that's against the defending national champions in Sam Houston. And they go and tie the game up late in the fourth quarter on the road in the FCS playoffs. Right here. Now, anybody who, might not, watch a lot of football, this is going to look like just a normal slant pattern, but I'm going to break it down for you on why this was so impressive. In the red zone against Sam Houston State, they're down 31-14. This is the same game I just showed y'all where they were tying it up in the fourth quarter. Cameron Ward led them back on the road. So you're going to see them just run a quick inside route here and watch him hit this guy coming on motion. He has to get out quickly because this defensive end is going to jump it. If he doesn't, he puts enough on that ball to get it there before this inside defender gets there. It's a great play design and a great throw by Ward to keep it out of the defensive end's reach and get there before that inside corner gets there. So that's the arm strength he has on him too, and the accuracy as well. That's what you're getting with Cameron Ward. And then here, a bootleg where you just see him. He keeps his eyes down the field, but he's athletic enough to make the DM not get there in time. You're going to see the guy in the back of the end zone come across, and he's going to put it right on his numbers right there. Bang, for the first touchdown of the game. That's what you're going to get with Cameron Ward if this is the transfer quarterback that you want. So I think he exhibits all the tools to be a highly successful quarterback. He has the pocket presence, the athleticism in the pocket without being a run-first style quarterback. He's got a beautiful deep ball, a solid release. Now, there are some fundamental things that I know a lot of scouts have pointed out that he can fix. But as you remember, man, this guy's only played, 19 games of college football. There's going to be ways to develop. But this guy, in terms of a raw athlete and a quarterback that you can trust to go win big games, that is Cameron Ward for you. So that's why I do think right now, in my opinion, he's the best QB left in the portal right this second. Now, you might be wondering, who are the top contenders for Ward right now? Who's been offering them? What's been going on in the recruiting portal? Well, y'all already know. I got y'all's info on that. The number one thing for Ward he's looking for in the portal is to find a system that matches his skill set. He still remembers the high school days where he wasn't at the right school and was very underutilized. So the offensive system and how Ward will fit into it is going to be the number one thing for him. His dad has already said distance is supposedly not going to be a big factor in his decision, which really opens up a lot of the country and a lot of these schools. Now, his dad again in the interview said, quote, Cameron's number one thing is he wants to be in a system that throws the football. So pass first system, and he's already experienced in high school not throwing the football. So the number one thing is that system where they can let him air it out. Now, his dad also told 247 that within 30 minutes of Ward entering the portal, 30 minutes, guys, this video's right now at about 15 minutes. In 30 minutes, he spoke to Liberty, North Texas, Houston, and Texas State. That's how popular he was. And as of December 13th, in the probably about 8 a.m., Ward has now holds offers from Ole Miss in the SEC with Lane Kiffin, North Texas, Houston, and Indiana, according to his Twitter, and also has been in contact, like I said, with Liberty, Houston, Texas State. So a lot of big schools are after Ward right now, and a lot of experts, and I texted a few of my guys, and they're expecting a lot of these FBS schools to come after Ward. Look out for Texas Tech. Brett Lashley probably going to look for a quarterback to fit his system. Or not Brett Lashley. Brett Lashley went to SMU, but the new head coach Cumby over there at Texas Tech looking probably prefer a new quarterback. It's a pass heavy system. Ward is a Texas kid. That could be a school you could look at right there. Auburn losing Bo Nix on Sunday night to the transfer portal. They have TJ Finley there. There's some mixed emotions about him being the starter. They have Davis from Texas, a redshirt freshman. They also have a four-star coming in. Could they look at Cameron Ward to be the guy? LSU has been rumored to potentially be looking at Ward. Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, Louisville are predicted to be some of the biggest teams looking for a quarterback in the portal. All these schools could be the next ones to potentially offer Cameron Ward, so look out for them. Now, where do I think he should transfer next season? I'm not going to put a lot of speculation on it because I still don't know who's all going to offer Cameron Ward, and it should be anyone who needs a quarterback or anyone that has QB questions. Now, as much as an FCS guy, I would love to see Cameron Ward return to Incarnate Ward or stay in the FCS level, man, because I'm a huge FCS guy. This kid deserves every opportunity to excel at the highest level of college football. If Ole Miss is offering and they're not landing a Dylan Gabriel or someone like that, if Cameron Ward can go in there and be the starter in a Lane Kiffin-led offense with those talented wide receivers, that team slowly and surely improving, Cameron Ward in the Lane Kiffin Ole Miss system would be a huge problem for the SEC. That's a high level offense with a high level talent at quarterback. And I think he'd be the perfect option to replace Matt Corral for the Rebels. Now, I also think if Texas Tech offered, that would be a huge chance for Ward to stay in his home state, be in a pass first scheme, and air it out a bit with Texas Tech in the Big 12, where I think he could put up major stats. And also on top of that, I think Cameron Ward would really fit that system very well. And they've had some QB struggles all throughout the year. And by far, Cameron Ward would be the most talented quarterback on that team right now because they I believe they played four quarterbacks this year at Texas Tech. So Cameron Ward could step in immediately and be a huge factor. But those are my top two options right now. I'm going to keep you guys updated. Listen, I am going to keep reaching out to Cameron Ward, try to get him on the show after he commits. So stay tuned for that. I know a lot of you guys have been hitting me up, wondering if I could get him on the show. We are definitely going to work on it, guys. But listen, comment below what you think of Cameron Ward. Is he the best transfer quarterback in the portal right now? And where would you like to see Cameron Ward take his talents next season and for possibly the next 3 years? And also, make sure to check out all our other content. Interview with PJ Wells, All-American wide receiver from Jacksonville State, dropped this morning. And guys, make sure to tune in tonight for our FCS quarterfinals recap. We recap all the crazy action from this weekend of the FCS playoffs. And of course, tomorrow, our mailbag. So if you have any questions about Cameron Ward or what's going on, we'll update y'all at the mailbag. Bring those questions, bring those, I guess, predictions as well, and we will discuss it on the mailbag. But guys, hope y'all are having a great Monday. Appreciate y'all tuning into the Blue Bloods. But until next time, we are out.